What is up, you guys? Max back here with another video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about if a Jeep Wrangler is a good first car. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with my channel at all. If you are familiar, you guys know that I drive a V6 Camaro on a daily basis. This is actually my mom's car. It is a Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. It is the 4-door, obviously that's what the Unlimited means, and it is a 2014. So I'm going to be breaking this video up into a few different pieces, or a few different sections. We have price, comfort, usability, and aesthetic appearance, or the styling of the car. So let's get right into it. I'm also going to be adding a few other things that I think are noteworthy to mention. Now, if you want to use 4-door Jeep Wrangler from the last couple of years, you're going to be looking at mid to high 25,000s, which is actually kind of a lot considering this car I think is a $35,000 or $40,000 car when you buy it new. So to think a few years later, this is still retaining most of its value, which is a benefit as far as resale value, and you're going to be getting something that's going to hold its value, but at the same time you're going to be buying a pretty expensive car. So it is something to keep in mind. But I know a lot of you guys, if you're looking at this video, you've already considered price and you already know that it is something that you want to buy and that it is worth it. So I'm going to be skipping over that pretty quickly, but just wanted to make a note of that these Wranglers, especially the Unlimiteds, the 4-doors, can be pretty expensive, even the used ones. Now, as far as styling, you guys can make up mind yourselves on what you think the car looks like. I know a lot of people make jokes saying that this car looks like a refrigerator and things like that, but in reality this is actually a really nice looking car in my opinion, especially this car. It's got the black rims. It does look pretty aggressive. It's stylish. It is like a muscle car in the sense that you can replace things, buy new things. Everything about the car is customizable, and you can really make it your own. Just like a muscle car, you can go on different websites and buy literally everything. Everything's replaceable, like I mentioned, but it makes the car a lot more fun, and it's not just like your SUV, obviously. And you see guys who raise the car up, they'll change the wheels, the rims, and unless it is a stock Wrangler, most Wranglers that you see on the road, all of them look a little bit different. You'll see a light bar, a whole bunch of different stuff. So obviously you guys can make up your own mind as to whether you like the car or not as far as the looks, but it definitely looks good. And if it's going to be your first car, it definitely is something that looks really, really nice and also really impressive at the same time. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is the comfort of this car. Now, this is where I think it's sort of a downside, but not necessarily. It depends on the way you look at it. Now, when I first hopped in this car for the first time, I was really expecting the car to drive smooth and be able to handle bumps, but that is certainly not the case. It's probably the opposite. Now, this car is all-wheel drive. I'll show you guys that there's a little mode, a little thing you can bring back to put it into 4-wheel drive, and that is definitely cool. Obviously, this car is known for being able to handle winter and different types of environments, but anytime you go over a bump, even just on a normal road, it is especially apparent on the highway as well. You guys will feel everything. So it's going to sort of be a bumpy ride, even though you'd think because it can handle bumps, snow, ice, whatever, you'd think you wouldn't feel that stuff. But actually my car, a V6 Camaro, not that V6 has anything to do with it, but my Camaro from 2011 drives a lot smoother than this car. And that's not necessarily a smooth ride at all. It's sort of a bumpier ride. Muscle cars are known to have that feel, and it's actually a little bit smoother than this car. Now, it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's not a deal breaker for me, but as soon as you drive this car, if you test drive it, that's the first thing you're going to notice. For this car, the other thing to note is visibility. Now, this car, I would say this car's visibility is pretty good as far as the front and the sides go, but you do have obviously this big tire and behind you, so your rear visibility is not going to be amazing, but at the same time, you know, it is what it is. You obviously can look out the side mirrors, but if you're looking up at that rear view mirror, it's going to be a little bit tougher. But that, again, isn't a deal breaker by itself. Now, if you ask me if this car's slow or not, that's probably a question you guys might be wondering. The car, I think it has 275 horsepower. It weighs like 4,500 pounds or something like that. I wouldn't say it's a quick-moving car. The 0 to 60 is like 8 seconds or a little bit below that. But at the same time, because it's such a big car and you're really high up, it definitely does feel like you're going pretty fast, but it's definitely not a fast car by any means. The other cool thing is this car, or at least my mom got lucky, she got a soft top as well. I'm not sure if that's included in a lot of these cars. Now, it is sort of a pain to take the top off and put it back on, but when you do have the top off, it is super fun. It almost feels like you're in just a big convertible. My brother drives a Ford Mustang convertible, and that convertible feel that you get with the wind in your face, you sort of get the same thing with this when you have the soft top, and for the summers, it definitely is super fun. Another thing to mention is gas mileage. I think it's okay. I wouldn't call it a gas guzzler, but you're only getting like 20 miles per gallon on the highway, something like that. And it's okay, but it's definitely not a fuel-efficient car by any means. It is a V6 engine. I believe you can get this in a 4-cylinder as well, so you're not going to be expecting much from the V6. It's going to be the bigger engine. I believe it's a 3.6 liter, so it is what it is. It's a pretty big car, so don't expect great gas mileage with this car. Other things I just want to note is, obviously I mentioned this car does have four-wheel drive. You can buy the car in rear-wheel drive, but most people are probably going to opt for that all-wheel drive. And if you live in a place like I do, like Chicago, where it's going to be snowy, you're going to have bad winters, this is a great car to have. So if it's your first car, it's definitely going to be safe as far as that goes. You also have a lot of passenger room. So this is the four-door. You do get 4 seats, I believe, even if you get the two-door, but I've sat in some of those, and even me, I'm sort of a tall guy, but at the same time, I'm not ridiculously tall, and my knees were touching the front seat, even with it mostly all the way up. So that's definitely pretty uncomfortable. Nothing crazy, but if you want the most room, if you want to put your friends in the car, you're going to want to get the four-door. This car, like I mentioned, is from 2014. It does have a decent infotainment system. It has an aux cord. For me, that's all I need. It's not going to have Apple CarPlay like a lot of the newer cars have. So if that's something you're looking forward to, you could obviously replace the radio, but it's super easy to connect to Bluetooth. Like I mentioned, you have Bluetooth, you have the aux. That's pretty much all I need. You can listen to whatever you want. And the touchscreen's pretty good, and you can pair your phone pretty easily. So that's obviously definitely going to be a benefit and something that I actually liked about the car. This car has remote start, which is definitely another cool feature. I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure that's an option for these cars, but I definitely feel like that is something that you should probably get. I definitely am jealous. I don't have that in my car, and my mom was always starting the car, especially last winter when it would get cold. You start it, and obviously it's already warm, so definitely something that's pretty cool. So that's pretty much going to be it for this video. I tried to be as unbiased as possible, giving you guys the positives, the negatives, while also not really giving my opinion as much on how the car looks, because that's really up to you. And I definitely think if this is going to be your first car, I definitely don't think you're going to regret it. It has a lot of the things that you're going to be looking for. You can put your friends in the car. It has room. It's stylish. It looks nice. You can customize the car. It's just going to be a fun time in general. But like I mentioned, visibility is not going to be great. As far as looking in the back goes, it's going to be sort of a bumpier ride, and gas mileage is not going to be amazing. But if you can get over those things, I definitely think you're not going to regret getting this car. So that's pretty much it for this video. Any comments, leave them down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And please like and subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.